in seconds. It's second bringing with it hope and pain. The debt's not free. It's expensive, but it can be joyful.
I've been working on my days, working on my days. I've been working on my days, working on my days. I've been working on my days, I've been working on my days. I've been working on my days. I've been working on my days, working on my days. I've been working on my days, working on my days. I've been working on my days, working on my days. I've been working on my days. I've been working on my days.
DOD, minus DOBs in my dash. Time is the currency of life, so use a second as if there's no other. So it's up to me to be wise about my dash, for I'm accountable for my actions. I make the choices and know the outcomes, with time given for free by the Creator. I make the choices and know the outcomes, with time given for free by the Creator. Hey.
I've been working on my days, working on my days. I've been working on my days, working on my days. I've been working on my days, I've been working on my days. I've been working on my days. I've been working on my days, working on my days. I've been working on my days, working on my days. I've been working on my days, working on my days. I've been working on my days. I've been working on my days. I've been working on my days, working on my days. I've been working on my days, working on my days. I've been working on my days, I've been working on my days. I've been working on my days.
The hardest radio on this side of the hemisphere. 1873 FM.
Do you realize that, Naledi, we are talking of private companies here?
Definitely.
Imagine you as an individual, you start up your own company, your business. I mean, you've put whatever you've put into it every day, your effort. Then somebody comes and states that, no, just because I'm black, I should have 50%.
No, that's not what it says. It says 50% black people should also be allowed in the same business.
But why should it be forced on you?
It's not forced, Snashe. You must remember that sometimes black people don't get hired because they are black. Remember, most of these things are owned by white people. And white people, unlike us, they take care of their own.
Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 1873FM. Hashtag 1873FM.
From 1873 to present, and introspect to your heritage.
Can we say behind every successful woman is a lazy nigga? I don't know. What do you say?
No, definitely not. I think behind every successful woman is another successful woman.
Oh, I like
So I
that.
definitely think that women look out for each other. There's a misconception that we're always attacking each other or something, but I definitely think that we do tend to look after each other.
Definitely.
One piece of advice I always give to young people is that they need to understand how finances work.
Empowering the mind, enriching the nation. 1873 FM.
Come on! Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at 1873FM. Hashtag 1873FM.
It is the Santon Express morning show, and yes, as we continue in search of the future, I want the power of storytelling. Joining me now on the other end of the line. Okay, I think we seem to have lost the Secretary General of Friends of SMM. But nonetheless, we will continue to try get hold of him and be able to have a conversation with him so that he can just share with us his story. And as far as being a Secretary of Friends of Secretary General of Friends of SMM, and more importantly, when you look at this role that he plays as Secretary General, the aspect of just raising awareness of what is, what can be, and what could have been in a situation whereby we're using SMM as a case study just to understand the role that constitutionalism plays in the affairs of mankind, the role of the rule of law. When we have regard for rule of law, the outcomes are always different, unlike where there's no regard for the rule of law. So we'll continue trying to get hold of the Secretary General of the Friends of SMM. And if you also want to be able to add your voice to this conversation this morning, and you just want to share your personal experiences as an individual, feel free to do so. You can reach out to us through the 1873 FM's social media platforms, on Facebook as well as Twitter. The handle to follow is the 1873 FM, and you can also be able to follow us on the Mutuma Mawere Facebook page. Stay tuned to the 1873 FM as we try to reconnect with the Secretary General of Friends of SMM. And tell a friend to also tune in and make the 1873 FM their channel of choice.
Oxland Beats.
You should be waking up early, sleeping late, working hard to be really great, cause we all make mistakes, but never run an unfinished race. Ignore distractions, focus on the actions that'll get you to that winning place. Priorities, people, talents, goals, balance those like spinning plates. Spinning plates, yeah, spinning plates, yeah. If you drop it, it breaks, yeah. If you lose it, it breaks. Life's like spinning plates, yeah, spinning plates, yeah. If you drop it, it breaks, yeah. Don't stop or it breaks, yeah. Spin those plates like a circus trick. Find out what your purpose is.
Okay, we have managed to reconnect with the Secretary General of FOSMM, that is Mr. Tapuwa Chitambo. Mr. Chitambo, wonderful morning to you, and thank you so much for giving up time to be on the 1873 FM this morning.
Greetings, comrade, and seasonal greetings to you all.
Well, it is indeed a pleasure. Thank you for making time to just share with us your personal experiences, just to tell your story. This morning we've been having a conversation on the power of storytelling, how it can actually be able to ignite other individuals, inspire other individuals into action in as far as just problem solving is concerned. You happen to be no stranger to the 1873 FM. We have heard quite a number of conversations with you, but maybe for this morning, as we kick off with our conversation, if you could just kindly talk to us or just share your story as Secretary General of FOSMM, the power that radio has, and more importantly, how it has enabled yourself as an individual to be heard on issues that matter on a daily basis.
Yes, thanks, Timash. You see, radio as a voice is so profound and very powerful. Okay, but in Zimbabwe, in my experience in Zimbabwe, radio is not so independent. So access to to share your views on radio is limited. But what I believe is what we need is maybe more independent radio networks, radio programs, and radio providing companies, so that we have more voice that is amplified and heard across the nation. radio plays an important role in giving the voiceless a voice, and that is so important that it needs to.
Okay, I seem to have lost Tapuwa there again, but nonetheless, we will try to reconnect with Tapuwa. He was just sharing with us that radio in itself, for him, it is something that is enabled him to have a platform to share his views on a particular subjects. And one subject that... hello, Tapuwa? Yes. We had lost you there for a bit, but we've managed to reconnect with you. You can just go ahead and to take it up from where we had left it, where you were just sharing with us how this radio platform has enabled you as an individual to actually address issues that are of importance to you.
Yes, thank you. What I was saying is the radio plays an important role in amplifying the voice of the voiceless.
Mm-hmm.
And in a country where there's media censorship, it is so difficult for people to get their views and state their issues to the public. So what I'm saying is we need to have more independent radio networks that are across the communities that really give people the voice to air their views, to make issues known, especially when it comes to issues to do with governance and public information. So we need more information, we need more radio networks, and we need more people actively involved in giving their views to the people.
Interesting. So, I mean, you speak of amplifying individuals' voices, and you happen to be one individual who has been at the forefront in as far as also just raising awareness around this act called the Recon Act. I mean, recently you stated that there is need for a fresh approach to challenge the Recon Act. And maybe your departure point was, let's look at what happens to a company after a reconstruction. I mean, if you could just, elaborate to our listeners as a Secretary General of FOSMM, why the need for individuals to be aware of this act?
You see, Zimbabwe has a host of draconian laws, that are contrary or act negatively towards development and democracy. So what I'm trying to say is there is an act in Zimbabwe which is called the Reconstruction Act. This act, its formation and this application has a lot of gray areas.
Mm-hmm.
So people need to, what we need to do now is to deconstruct, or let's say dissect this act, so that people understand really what it is and what its connotations are. Zimbabweans has this law imposed on them without following the proper channels of legislation. So we need people to understand this act is not a good act, and its implementation is not according to the Constitution. This act talks about state indebtedness or state indebted companies. But there are questions that are raised. How does the state become a lender? And how does a state give people money? State is no coffers for lending. So how can it become a lender, and how can people be said, or a company be said to be state indebted? These are the questions that needs to be raised. And then also the big question is, what happens to a company after it has gone through reconstruction?
Mm-hmm.
The act itself clearly says that this company should be able to change to its rightful stakeholders or shareholders. And these shareholders, when this company will now start applying activities under the Companies Act, but this has not been done. And another question is, how long does a company go through reconstruction? These are questions, the gray areas that really need clarification, and asking these questions in Zimbabwe, we're not having answers.
I mean, you raised something that is very fundamental. I mean, the fact that there is this law that is alive that many are not aware of is a great starting point, just to know the kind of laws that impede development, that impede economic progress, particularly when you think of the mantra that the president, Emerson Mnangagwa, normally shares with people, that the notion that Zimbabwe is open for business, and yet you are raising an issue that there are laws that impede when you look at investment in itself, they impede investment in the sense that there is a violation of property rights of individuals. So, I mean, Mr. Chitambo, we're looking at this issue that you have raised, and more importantly, the questions that you have actually raised in as far as what happens to a company after reconstruction, what happens, how long should be the reconstruction process be? I mean, those are very fundamental questions. But to whom do you think that at the end of the day we can be able to speak about these issues? But because I don't see any legal experts who are actually touching on these issues, particularly when you look at the aspect of the rule of law and just restoration of constitutionalism, and you say there is this draconian law. Are there any lawyers that come to your mind that you say these guys are actually raising awareness about these issues? They are actually informing the public of how such bad laws are not good for them if we are to secure the future that we all want collectively.
There's a number of lawyers that are, very active and privy to this act. But the question now is the Zimbabwean government receptive to criticism? Okay. The first thing that comes to mind is the question of the issue of a legislator. I talk of Dr. Daniel Shumba, who was once NSP from Masvingo. Okay, he raised questions in Parliament during a parliamentary portfolio committee. He was chairing the Mines Committee. The questions that he raised about this act and its application to FMM and other companies got him fired from Parliament. So the big question is this, the Zimbabwean state receptive to these inquiries? Okay, my answer, and from the experience that I've had, is they are not. Once you raise questions of issues like the Reconstruction Act, it's earmarked and gets fired from whatever position that we have. So the real power from our political players is zero. That is where we need to start. We need to start by conscientizing our legislators, our parliamentarians, about the role that they have to play, okay, in as far as bringing out, fairness and justice. That is what I believe should be our first port of call.
A very interesting aspect that you raised, that at the end of the day, there's need to also conscientize these legislatures of ours who happen to represent us individuals in Parliament. And you might actually be surprised that the majority of legislatures, they are unaware that such a draconian law exists. And on that note, if I may ask you, Mr. Chitambo, do you know your legislator, and are they aware of this law that is still alive 15 years since its inception, since it was given life?
The problem in Zimbabwe is that when we go to elections, we do not look at the benefits of whoever we are going to get into power. Most of the parliamentarians are not aware. Okay, can I say they're ignorant to what really matters? What needs to be done is for the next election is that we need to have the curriculum vitae of whoever is aspiring for office and really probe them. Along these the questions that we are raising, we need legislators that read and understand and are able to articulate when they get in Parliament. Also, we also need to have independent thinkers. These parliamentarians should not be bound by a political party. They should be bound by the public office that they are aspiring to. These are the fundamental issues that we need to address when we come to elections next time and elect people into office that really articulate our issues. I'm also part of a network of youth organizations that are advocating for youth participation in politics and governance.
Mm-hmm.
What we are saying is we need more voice of the young people in Parliament. So that we have a neutral voice, a voice of the future. We cannot continue saying that these are the future of our future leaders of this country. These are today's leaders, and we need to put youth in the policy-making department, into decision-making issues. We need more effective youth to participate.
Well, on that note, Mr. Chitambo, really want to thank you so much for your time and for your contribution towards this conversation this morning. And definitely, I look forward to deepening and broadening this conversation, particularly the issues that you have raised of the Recon Act, the questions that you have actually raised, which are very fundamental, which are also questions I'm raising out to the listeners out there this morning on the 1873 FM. So if you are tuned in and if you've been following the conversation and you are aware of the Recon Act, Mr. Chitambo has raised two questions in as far as what is it that, firstly, when you talk of the Recon Act in itself, when you say a company is under reconstruction, what is the time frame for that reconstruction to happen, and what happens after the reconstruction process? So let's get to engage in this conversation, and let's get to deepen our knowledge on issues that matter, so that at the end of the day, we all play a part in securing the future that we all want, the order that we desire collectively. On that note, Mr. Chitambo, thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for adding your voice to this conversation on the 1873 FM.
Thank you, Tinashe. Goodbye.
Okay, you have yourself a lovely day further.
Thanks, bye-bye.
Goodbye for now. So, yes, as we continue, Mpo, this is Tapuwa. He happens to be Secretary General of Friends of SMM. Yes. Basically, when you say Friends of SMM, SMM stands for Shapani Mashaba Mines. Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of FOSMM before? This is the first time that you're hearing it.
The first time I've heard of it.
Each day is a day to open up to learn new things.
Yes.
Also learning from other individuals' experiences. So definitely we'll touch base on that so that you're also better informed of what FOSMM is all about, and the individual who are playing their role in as far as the restoration of constitutionalism and, more importantly, the rule of law, just using some of these case studies to conscientize people about some of the things that happen within their communities, within the area, a particular geography that they happen to be in and are very much unaware of. So on that note, that takes us to a short musical break. Keep it locked on your channel of choice, the 1873 FM, a track titled True Purpose. Okay, let's get it rolling.